And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. My good friend all the way from the West Coast, Miss Lucy, is on the phone now. How's it going, old friend of mine?
Hi, Kenny. Hi. Well, okay. I'm dealing with a little bit of bronchitis, which
Mm.
kind of sucks. But what are you gonna do except stock up on all the immune boosting things and get lots of sleep?
Well, I'll promise not to have this interview too super long. So, but
Oh no, this is fine. This is energizing. I'm
I
so glad to be here again.
appreciate you being here, being the trooper, and it's been quite a while since you last been on the show. I remember you was doing music at the time, and I think I still have some of your old music back in the day.
Yes.
I still have it somewhere in my laptop. So it came to me as a surprise, like about a month ago. I found out Lucy's getting back into music, and she's got a new album record called Bear.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, let's see what this let's see what Lucy got on her mind apparently, and it was very pleasing. It was very mesmerizing, um, and it was a incredible record. So congratulations on the release of the record. The name of the record is called Bear,
Thank you.
and you've had a video series going song by song, the process and everything. Um,
Yes.
so with that being said, what made you decide to name this record Bear?
Well, so Kenny, this is a really interesting. This entire process of writing this music and getting back into. I feel like my voice is like really dark and deep and sexy right now. I can't get over it. Okay, so at the beginning of this year, actually I'll take it to like December. December was a really tough month, just a lot of stuff coming to the surface and dealing things with family, extended family and all that. Holidays. It's also the middle of the season where all four of the kids are having birthdays. I'm having a birthday, anniversary, all of the holidays. So it's just, and I watched The Greatest Showman. Have you seen that movie?
No, I have not really.
Oh my God. Okay, so I watched it a lot. I watched it many times. And something about that just really, it started to stir something up. So emotional watching that movie. And I was like, what's going on? And it's basically, it's a movie about the start of the circus and, Barnum and Bailey and all that stuff. And it shows like the struggles with the business and failing and trying again and then the whole thing burning down and then starting again and the family and all of that. And so in January, I'm very big about setting my intentions for each quarter, each week, each day. Something that I do with my clients with coaching. And so I decided I'm just gonna start writing again. I was really scared that I wouldn't have it anymore. I was scared that I would that say that that like but like I had so many fears and I was just gonna do maybe 2 or 3 songs. And I called up my guy Wendell in Nashville who used to play drums for me back when I lived there. And we had talked about doing some more songs together a while ago. But it had been years and years. And he said, "Yeah, I just got back from the tour, and I'm available to like cook up some stuff, and let's see what happens." And I mean, it's like the floodgates were opened, and the more I was writing, just the more was coming. The more was coming, and these songs were just dying to get out of me. And sometimes he would send me a track. I tell him, and then I found 2 other producers to work with here in San Diego. Let's find a track with this kind of vibe to it, like something dark or moody or something sexy or something kind of like, I don't know, more emotional and vulnerable. And then they would make a track. And sometimes I would write these songs in as little as like an hour, hour and a half. So, I mean, they were just like waiting to to be expressed. So from the point that I decided this is going to be a whole album, like I'm going to do a full album, to the time that it was released was between 8 and 9 weeks. And I feel like that's just kind of what happens in my life. That's my pattern, that I just decide I'm going to do this, and this is the time I feel inspired, and I just let me commit myself to it. And I called it Bear because a lot of that I'm going to take, actually, here were my 2 big commitments to myself in writing these songs. I made the commitment to write songs that could be placed in film and TV. That was a big intention of this. And then second, to write from a really honest, vulnerable, raw, real space, which I had tried to do before, but I could never quite do, because I needed to be able to really connect with myself and my own heart, not be so much in my head. And so I called it Bear because I really did bear myself, emotionally, and what this whole journey that I've been going through has been. And I just kind of put it out there, it's like, this is what's up, this is me, this is how I feel, this is who I am. And it feels really good, to be able to express myself without any filters or worries of, oh my God, are people going to hate this or what? Because there was that little doubt in my mind, like, oh, people are going to like this. But then who cares? This is me. There would be people who will connect with it, and those are the people who need to connect with it. So, yeah, Bear it is.
Basically, what you see is what you get, and there's a lot of growth on this album. There's a lot of raw emotion on this album, and you put it out there, and I really enjoy listening to this record. And I think a lot of people that may not be familiar with your old music, but definitely gonna be familiar with this, will enjoy this as well. I think I've seen all the videos that you've done up to this point, and just detail after detail, and just describing what was it like to record all these songs, and and this is such a remarkable record, and I'm happy to see you back. I have been keeping track of you since the old music, because I know you be doing Facebook Live from time to time. Now slide on in, and so you've been focusing on some other things since the old music days, and now you're back musically. And again, congrats on this record. It is called Bear. It is available on a variety of digital music platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere that you can stream, purchase music. And go check it out from Luci. Support this woman. She's got the itch to get back into doing music, and hopefully it'll lead to more music from her in the future. Cause I like what I hear. So you talked about the whole experience recording this record. Was there any influences from anyone of today's mainstream or some of your music friends that kind of led you to get back into music?
Let's see. So I mean, definitely that movie, The Greatest Showman, inspired me to just sing. Actually, the big thing about that was not just the emotion and the whole story of the movie, but the songs in that movie. I got to kind of stretch my legs again as a singer, so to speak. I started just singing those songs, and my kids learned all the songs, and we would just sing them all the time together at home. And we did a couple of videos and stuff together. But that just got me excited to sing again, to literally sing. And then I went through phases of just being completely immersed in different artists. And this was kind of the progression. So this is going to make no sense whatsoever style-wise. But basically, I started out with the soundtrack to The Greatest Showman, and then I moved on to 21 Pilots, which is like nothing like my style. But what I really felt drawn to was, man, these guys, they just like speak from the heart. They just tell it like it is, you know? And like, I was like, I want to do that. So I just completely immersed myself in that and like put myself in more of the emotional space and like digging in. Then I got really into, what was the next? Oh, I got really into Taylor Swift's last album, you know, Reputation. I really liked the darker songs in there, and I felt drawn to that. And then I got into LSD. Have you heard LSD?
I believe
It's
so.
like
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's like Labyrinth, Sia, and Diplo. They just put together this one project and it was dope. And I was like, man, this is great. Just the beat and the vocal style. So I got into that. That was a little more funky, upbeat, all that. And then I really got into some Sia because, again, just that emotional depth and learning about her story and her background and where she's at and how she got there. And that just like really took me deep emotionally. Like I would watch her music videos and just cry my eyes out. And so I went through that. It was like a month of Sia of just like, like feelings and all these feels. And then I got into some, what did I get into? Oh, I got into some Billie Eilish, actually. I really like her stuff. I've just been feeling really drawn to this more like raw, kind of darker, moodier spaces, because I had never expressed that before, especially not in my music. And it's almost like I want to know that I can do that, you know, that I can like show all these different elements of myself in a musical way. And it's really important for me to know that I can express that. So I've actually continued to write too. I'm still writing. And Wendell and I are working on 2 tracks right now, and I'm working on another one with Ephraim, who did 3 of the tracks on Bear. And we're just always writing because I feel like if I stop, like my momentum as a writer and as that expressive side will start to slow down, and I really don't want that. It's been a very cathartic experience, and I don't want to put it down. So I'm still writing. But yeah, that was basically the process of influences musically. And then it was just a matter of being very emotionally honest in my writing and not holding back and not being like, is this okay to say? Should I sing about that? I just went there. If I felt it, I just went there.
I think I grown to like Billie Eilish. Took me a while.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
She's a different type of gal, you know. She ain't no glitz and glam. She's
Yeah.
a bit authentic. And I think the Crown song she did kind of won me over. The beat and
Yeah.
just how her vocals fit with that, because that sound like a hip hop beat for me, I guess.
Yeah, right.
But she made it work. So props to Miss Ellish in that regard.
Yeah.
So I hear you're going to be shooting a music video for one of these songs next weekend.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that.
Yes. So the official video that we're shooting is going to be at the end of June for the song Maria Lucia. But that song is more, it's like a tribute to my inner child, you know, like really fully embracing myself and my roots and more integrated in myself and who I am. But while the choreography is being worked out for that and we're putting all the pieces together and figuring out the locations, I really felt the itch to work on another video. And like I do crazy stuff all the time like this. I don't know how much of the stuff you've seen, Kenny, but there was one last year. There were 2 points last year in 2018 that I was like, I'm going to write another book. And I did it in a week. And it's just like this crazy thing, like a switch that goes on in my head. It's time. Like, it's time to do this. I'm just going to, I don't know how. I'm just going to do it. So I decided to do another video for Culebra, which means snake in Spanish. And I've been getting a lot of really great feedback from listeners about that song. especially those who are in more of the dance communities or Zumba, fitness, cycling, things like that. And yeah, people are really digging it. I was like, you know what? I want to do a video that I can be a little bit more unleashed and like sexy and without, because I don't feel like Maria Lucia is that song, you know. It's just like a completely different vibe. So I wanted to take this song and like, you know, have the footage that's really well done. Like we're gonna shoot it out here at the cliffs near sunset, with the cliffs in the background and the ocean, and I'm gonna have my snake Nadi. She's like 2 years old now. She's a python, and we're just gonna basically do a simple video that captures the essence of the song and puts more of the emphasis on just what I'm doing, like my performance, instead of, hey, here's all these different pieces and we're doing this whole dance together type of thing. There's not going to be that in this necessarily. So I worked fast, and a good friend of mine, she introduced me to a videographer that lives here in town, and yesterday we locked in the details, and we're going to shoot on Thursday. So I'm going to edit this one myself, actually. That's one thing that I had to learn how to do for my other businesses that I did since when I was doing music before. So be on the lookout for that. It might be out by next weekend. We'll see how fast I can pump this out.
I'm very excited about that. That's going to be an incredible video, I truly believe. So everyone, be on the lookout for that. Go check out the record. It's called Bare, Bare, from Luci. It's out on all digital music platforms right now. It's been released for quite some time. So and I know a lot of people like, oh, well, Luci been musically, what's she been up to? You know, she you know, sometimes you gotta take a little break from it and focus on other things, and when the time is right, she'll get back to the swing of things. And now, since the release of this record, you still writing songs. So, you know, if people like what they hear, you know, you might hear another album down the road. So keep supporting Luci. Go stream it, purchase it, do what you gotta do, and spread the word. Tell your friends. Well, your grown-up friends.
Yeah, tell your friends.
Tell your friends, indeed. Well, Luci, before I let you go, why don't you go ahead and tell the listeners on your social media feeds, where can people check you out?
Yeah, so I am primarily on Facebook and Instagram. So my Facebook page is it's called Luci, but you know, after the slash, it's La Vida Luci, like La Vida Loca, but not La Vida Luci. And then my Instagram is Luci Lampe, Luci with an I. And then anything else, all the other links and updates and things like that are on LuciLampe.com.
It was great to hear from you again. Great to hear the new music. I like Hold My Breath. I like the song you're doing the music video for. I like majority of the songs. And the Boss Bleep song. I like that one too.
That was a big hit too.
Yeah, so that was pretty dope too. But great hearing from you. Congrats again on the record. Continued success. And let's not